Hello, this is Cameron Daniels, and this is me talking about Bolton Wanderers at MK Dons. What can we say? It was utter shite. The ball wasn't running for us. I felt the team aren't good enough. I mean, to be honest, right, they scored, and before they scored, it looked like it could be a hatful. After they scored for about 10, 20 minutes, no, not 10, 20, maybe 10 minutes, it looked like it could be more. Then they punched themselves out. Then second half we came out a little bit better, had a bit more of the ball, but it looked like every time they could hit it was on the break. Maybe I just the team selection, was it the right one? I don't know. I'm fucked off. I'm really, really, really fucked off. Actually, I mean, first goal, Trafford did well to keep it out. The guy possibly handballed it before he put it in the back of the net. He was a pain in the ass all game, so he got took off. Um, the second goal, Trafford's fault, miscommunication between him, Trafford, and Sadlier maybe. But why the fuck do we fuck about with it at the back? I mean, why? All game we had Declan John taking corners and you know he was taking them. Yet the best cross of the ball is Morley. Admittedly, we nearly scored from a Declan John corner, and it was our best moment in the game. We hit the bar. Now, I thought it was Santos who hit the bar, not Bakayoko, but everybody online said it's Bakayoko. Um, but I don't understand why we continue to have Declan John taking free kicks when Molly's on the pitch, because he's much better at it than he is. And everything that we scored off recently has been from Molly free kicks or corners. So it makes no sense. I think it was probably a good idea that Moll was taken off in the second half. He'd already been booked. He was getting caught with the ball. To be honest, people were in front of him and he couldn't do anything. I mean, there was two and three people on top of him, so he had no chance. He had absolutely no chance. I don't know if that's because he was getting poor balls to him, or if that's because people were ahead of him and trying to go forward instead of just thinking about defensive. I mean, I know his yellow card. He took one for the team. So, I mean, it wasn't a good day. It really wasn't. Um, Sadly, was again deployed at left back. He's not a left back. And to be honest, I really like him. I think he's a really good creative player. And when he did manage to get forward, he looked like he was dangerous, which is great. Personally, I put Sadlier behind the front two. Um, Today that went to Dempsey. Dempsey was anonymous in the first half. Second half, he had a good game. Second half, did a really crunching tackle as well on somebody, and then just played on from there. And I think he was quite influential for us in the second half. But I also think his best position so far has been in the as a defensive midfielder, which is interesting. So, not a lot to like about today. We had a few other shots here and there. There's not a lot to talk about other than that. If MK Dons had played the last hour of the game like they did at the start of the game, it would have been all over by half time. It would have been all over within 30 minutes. I mean, they were all over us. They were quicker than us. They were faster the ball. Um, they seem to have better players than us. And I guess that's a concern. Actually, this season, should we be consolidating rather than thinking about going for the championship, well, the playoffs for the championship. Should we be consolidating? Because based on what I saw, okay, Dons, we're not good enough. And if we did go up into the championship, we haven't got players that could keep us there. So I think maybe this season is too much, and this team is not good enough. I don't think we're good enough at the back, and I don't think we're good enough in midfield at this moment in time. I think up top, different matter. I think Bakayoko's banging form. I think Charles is banging form, and Line's banging form. They're all scoring goals. So we've got more than 10. So up front, I don't think it's a problem. I think midfield, and I think at the back. I don't think George Johnson's good enough. The minute he came up against Conor Wickham, he's got no chance. Right, so let's do some ratings, I think. James Trafford, um, unlucky on the goal, first one at least. Um, he also hit him when they hit the post earlier on. Well, early on in the game. Um, but then he also fucked up, and that cost us a goal pretty much. So I'm going to give him a 5. We had Fossey at right wing back. Fossey did a lot of defensive work, but he didn't do a lot going forward. When he did, he caused the trouble. There was a few really good crosses into the box that we didn't get on the end of. So I'm going to give him a 6 because he didn't play badly actually. At left wing back, we had Declan John, who did nothing really, apart from the cross that we nearly scored from the nearly scored from the corner. He didn't do a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of Declan John this season. Last season he made a huge difference to us. This season, I think he's getting found out a little bit. And I mean, he's been replaced twice now with Kieran Sadler, so maybe that's showing things as well. I certainly wouldn't have him on free kicks or corners if Morley's in the team. So I'm going to give him a 5. Right side of the defence was getting Jones, who had an okay game, didn't do anything particularly well. What he did do was get forward better than anything else. He again also tried to do an overlap while he was playing defence. So I'm going to give him a 5 as well. Santos didn't do a lot wrong. Now my dad hates Santos. He thinks he's a liability, and there's certain parts of me that thinks the same. But he didn't have a bad game. I mean, he really didn't. So I'm going to give him a 6. George Johnson gets bullied by everybody he comes across. I think he'd be much better served as being a left back. I don't rate George Johnson. I think he's a weak link in the team. I think he's a really weak link at the back. So I'm going to give him a 5. Just because I don't think he's good enough. No bias there, of course. MJ Williams. MJ Williams this season is being found out as being a League 2 player. There's a reason why Blackpool let him go. He can only pass it sideways or back. He's got no idea when it comes to passing it forward. When he had the ball and it was looking forward in that game, it was a rabbit in fucking headlights. I think League 2 is his standard. I don't think he's good enough for League 1. And I think he should be replaced in the team. Personally, the players that we've already got, I would put Dempsey and Morley as the double pivot. I certainly wouldn't have MJ Williams in it. So I'm going to give Williams 4. because I think we've relied on Williams a lot in League Two, and we have in League One, and I think that is a weak link. People might say I'm wrong, but that's my opinion. Um, so who else we got? We got Aaron Morley kept getting caught with the ball. I don't think through any fault of his own. I'm going to give him a 5. Then we had Cal Dempsey, who didn't have a great first half, but he had a really good second half. Second half, I think he was their best player in the second half. So I'm going to give him a 7. Bakayoko didn't do a lot during the game. Had a couple of headers, caused a bit of nuisance here and there. I'm going to give him a 6. Deon Charles, constant nuisance, did everything he could. It just wasn't, nothing was coming his way in terms of chances. I'm going to give him a 6.5. As for the substitutes, Afline did fuck all when he came on. It caused a little bit of trouble because he was carrying the ball. But other than that, he did nothing, as usual. And he's a greedy fucker. He had another shot with his left peg, went fucking nowhere near. He is a greedy fucker. And yeah, he has been their best player, but he's starting to not be our best player. And there's a reason why he's on the bench. He's out of form, and he's not playing well enough. So I'm going to give him a 5. And then there is Sadlier. I think Sadlier again came on, and well, he wasn't on long enough, but I think I would give him a 6 because I don't think he was bad at all when he came on. And who else came on for us? Bodvarsson. Did Bodvarsson even touch the ball? I can't remember Bodvarsson even touching the ball. I'm going to give him a 5 because nobody was as bad as MJ Williams was. Maybe that's a bit harsh. That's just how I see it. I wish we'd stop fucking about with it at the back and we'd just kick the fucking ball forward sometimes. Today we were too slow. It's a slow build-up play that has frustrated a lot of fans. And today we were doing it again because we were up against a decent side. I don't know if we're giving too much respect or it's because they were just a better side. I mean, they were a better side. They're in third, and there's a reason they're in third, and they looked like they could tear us to shreds. We aren't good enough. We need to consolidate and forget the playoffs because at the minute we're not good enough to get. We're not good enough to be in the championship. Not with this side. We need another team again. So that's my opinion. Probably think it's bullshit, but hey, who gives a fuck? That's just how I see it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, bye.